Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our very first episode of Dancing After Dark. Today we're going to do our first episode with 3 world Latin champions. They are also the co-organizers of the NB Ball. We have Bryan Watson, Carmen, and Hans Galke, and they are going to share with us their experiences in their dancing, what they went through as amateurs turned pro, as competitors, competing at major events, and also what they feel is trending in the dance industry now. So I know you're really going to enjoy a lot of the great advice that they have to give all of us. And we hope you enjoy our first episode, Dancing After Dark. That was quite an evening we had this evening, don't you think? Pretty exciting dancing. I think one of the things that I would like to ask you, or I think people are curious about, especially people who maybe haven't attended this event yet, is that you're sort of new to the U.S. scene.
Yeah.
All coming from different countries. You're from Germany.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Originally South Africa, but officially German.
Officially German.
And I'm from a complete different country, Germany.
That's amazing. I thought one of you was from England for sure.
Oh,
But we all live in
we
London.
just live there.
We all live
We're
in
not
London.
English.
Oh, you all live in London?
We all live in
Yes,
London,
we
very
do.
close to each other.
Really?
Yeah. They
Okay.
live together and I'm separate.
Wow. Did you compete at the same time? Were you?
Yeah.
From the same
sort of.
era, so to say, yes.
He retired a little earlier than us, but we sort of were at
Because
the
I
same
wanted to give them a chance.
That's right.
That's why I said.
Oh, is that how that
He
works?
kindly stepped
Very
down.
kind.
Yeah.
So kind
I
of.
know.
I know.
I'm a very kind person.
It's family after all, right?
I'm glad you realized that, Dan.
I
After a few
recognize
days.
that right away, absolutely. And I want people at home to recognize it.
Well, then you have to come. Then
A
we
lot
can
of them
talk
are
about
asking, who the hell are you? What are you doing here in the United States, running a competition in Las Vegas, Nevada?
Yeah.
That's sort of interesting. How did you end up getting to Las
Who knows?
Vegas?
We're asking ourselves too, no?
I bet you are. Welcome to running a competition.
Well, you know, it started with we had a competition in England called the London Ball,
Okay.
and it started off with trying to organize events like how we used to grow up in Germany, dancing competitions. We used to always dance in a ball environment where people were even in gowns and it was a live band and sort of dancing in the past sort of 10 years, 15 years ventured to sort of more sportsful type of venues.
All dance sport now.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
and we felt just like it's a shame that we can't put ballroom dancing back into where it belongs in sort of more of a, I don't know, upscale, but in an evening environment where people dress up properly and music is played properly and all of that. So that's how we started it, and we really loved the London Ball, and it went really.
Do you still run them? Do you still run the London Ball?
It still exists. We are no longer part of this from this year on, but it still exists, and it's a great competition and it's actually also a gala evening.
Right.
So it's a great competition, if I have to say so myself, and we really love doing it. And so then we could have caught the organizing bug. We loved it and enjoyed it, and then we were approached to say, or we were looking sort of what else could we do, and then we were approached to see there is a competition in America for sale from the Pattocks, Brian and Sue Pattock, and the opportunity to partner Sam Giordano was a great challenge, or a great
Challenge is a really good word
Challenge, yes.
when it comes to Sam Sedano.
No, it was a
But
great
you first
honor.
have to get hold of it.
No, it was a great opportunity and a great honor, and so we took that, and that's why we're here, and that's why we're in Vegas. And
Well, I do want to tell you that people are very impressed with how connected you are with the competitors at this event.
Right.
And congratulations to
Oh, thank
three
you.
of you and
Thank you.
the other organizers. And the fact that you are in this ballroom all day long, you're here from Heat 1 all the way to the end. I know that's very much appreciated by people who are attending.
But I think that because I mean we used to dance ourselves, and therefore
You
it's
remember.
not that many years ago, you know. And
Okay.
we still remember how it feels on the other side, you know.
Yeah.
And we just want to give back what we always enjoyed ourselves. So that the organizer gives all this kind of atmosphere to the couples, and that
Right.
makes the couples feel better, and then they dance better.
Right.
So we would like to really get that feeling across, and we're happy to share that. Yes.
So obviously, the biggest difference probably coming over here and running an event is the fact that here in the U.S. our big market is Pro-Am competition.
Yes.
And I know that's starting to reach into other areas of
Yes.
the world.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful thing. We're very thankful for our Pro-Ams here.
Oh, absolutely.
And that they take their sports seriously.
Absolutely.
Of course, they watch all of your videos on YouTube
dear.
and get inspired.
Videos, yeah, with that almost
Videotapes.
It was
Oh, yeah,
videotape.
we had videotapes.
At that time, not DVD. Videotape.
No, we're on videos. This is where we're going, right?
Right?
Remember those 33 albums? We don't want to talk. You do
No.
not. You're way too young.
Yes, we do.
But anyway, you
yeah,
mentioned
Pro-Am,
the
you know,
Pro-Am. I mean, you invented a great thing. I have to say, you in America, and you're
How did
right.
you know I invented it?
I'm not sure you,
Amazing.
but you're doing a very good job. Anyway, but I think this is really a great thing, and you can see how much they love it and how much passion and intention they give in, and they take it seriously.
They take
It's
it
not
very
like-
seriously.
Not some hobby, but
I
this
mean,
is a
these
serious
students,
stuff.
they spend some coin.
And it's
Oh, yeah.
really true,
And time
and
also.
you're absolutely right. Also in Europe, it's spreading a lot, especially in Russia, in Germany, and all over in
Finland
Europe,
is the one.
Finland. In
So you
Italy.
see that now? You see
Oh
that
yes,
trend
all
happening?
over. We had in our London Bowl, we had Pro-Am running
Section.
as well.
We did.
Yeah, we did,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. And that's how we started to start, because it is, of course, a little bit different to the international style.
Right.
And we really we were beginners to the field, and we really had to learn it from the scratch.
Right.
And we're still not finished. We understand it.
Was
too,
it
but we
weird to you
tried.
at first when you were
No, because we
watching
came a lot
students and teachers?
to the US to compete and did shows, so we knew about the market, but it sort of filtered only in the last, I would say, maybe 5 to 10 years back to Europe.
Yeah.
And our own amateurs and professionals, this is their own bread and butter nowadays to do Pro-Am, and therefore we are all very grateful. And I think it never looked strange. It was just sort of, wow, that's existing, because back then
Right.
when we first came over as dancers, it didn't exist in Europe, but
Right.
now of course it's everywhere.
I mean, in
Now
Europe
it's
it was
spreading.
strictly professional or
Yeah.
amateur.
Oh, yeah.
Were you
Yeah.
all amateurs at one time?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah.
pretty much how you started,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Oh,
And then
yeah.
you turned professional.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
you've all won Blackpool.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
And I know the big thing is that Blackpool is going to include now the American style dancing.
Actually, from next festival in May.
The next festival in May. That's our first time ever with the professionals, and I believe they're going to add Pro-Am.
Yeah.
You know, Blackpool being such a prestigious event, and it's Blackpool, right? It's
Yeah.
sort of like the Ohio Star Ball is to the United
Right,
States.
right,
Blackpool
right,
is
right.
to them. How do people respond to that? I mean, do you know, like?
I think with anything new, it's always mixed feelings and mixed emotions. There is a lot of traditionalists, I guess on the US side as well as in Europe and English
Right.
side. So there will be the traditionalists who don't want it to be there
Right.
and don't want it to change. And then there is the other people who think, well, it's a great opportunity, why not? Life or the world is open now.
Right.
And I think it's an opportunity to dance on Blackpool floor is great, and it should not be limited maybe only to certain styles or certain people.
I mean,
But it's a mixed thing, and I think only time will tell.
Yeah.
We cannot predict what will be in the next year or in the next 10 years.
Right.
So you will have to just see and see for ourselves. Is it okay or
I
is
mean,
it not
it's
okay?
great for the experience, but I would have to think like a professional couple here who's
Yeah.
maybe a finalist
Yeah.
or the champion
Right.
would be a little nervous
Nervous,
to
I'm
go over
sure.
in Blackpool and be judged by judges that have never seen them or
But vice versa, a lot of the European couples come to the US sometimes to compete, and
Right.
then normally they would have such a result, and then they don't make a final here even. So that is
That
vice
happened-
versa
That
sometimes
happened to
too.
us as
So
well. We came
Oh.
first time to the
Yeah, but
US.
that's
it happened
different.
to me.
Oh, not to
I'm
you.
sorry.
You were an exception.
but that's different. It's all about
Anyway.
us. You know that.
Some
US,
people are
us.
talented and some people just working hard.
Exactly.
Let's talk more about that.
But it happened to us as well. We came over and we were great great stars in Europe, and then they'd be coming over and nobody
Come
knows
here
it.
and it's
so
just-
when we were also confronted with people that we never seen. So
Sure.
and I'm sure there were stars in America, but
Yeah.
if you live in Europe and you don't know. But
Do you think
but I
that's
think it
more of
will
a
change.
political thing, or do you think it's partly that just the judges, it's like
It's also
anything, the
style,
eye
I
doesn't
think.
know you yet,
No,
the
but it's
judges
also
don't know you.
No, I don't think it's political because you can't say political if they don't know you and you don't know them.
They're not seeing you the way
It's just a new thing, and
do.
maybe you have to get used to different things.
Right.
And I think it will merge into something very nice, and I think it will be also nice for America to have
pretty
it all
excited.
stuff that you have invented, and clearly,
Right.
clearly you brought it to that what it is.
And will you get on the microphone and say that?
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
I think we don't need-
for
everybody
sure.
knows that.
Yes, but also
Absolutely.
I think
already in
everybody
existing
knows where it comes
competitions in
from.
Europe, like in Aston or in Paris, they have 3 or 4 rounds of pro-ams.
Yeah, and
and
people
there's
from
not
America
one,
come
not one
over.
couple from America actually.
Yes.
Most of them are all from China or from Russia or from
Right.
Europe. So
Yeah.
there's a market there and a market in America, and I think for whoever wants to go to Blackpool can.
Yeah.
So I think this is the great thing about.
I think it will
opportunity that's
not take anything away from you guys in America. It will just make them come even more to America. I guess.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think so.
do.
I
I think
think
it's a
so.
great thing.
But-
We're very proud of our pro-am.
Oh, yeah.
So, and you should
But
be.
what
You
we've
should be.
developed in that
You should be.
area. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you are all world Latin champions,
Yes.
former.
former
Yeah.
world Latin
Retired.
champions. How many times?
9 times professional. Yes.
9 times professional together. I was also a professional Segway world champion
Really?
with my previous partner.
Should we go there? And I was a world champion before she was born.
Yes.
Yeah, let's talk about your other partner. Forget him, okay?
Well, I've been twice amateur world champion. I've been amateur world champion 10 dance.
Ah, yeah, you see.
So I'm a real
too.
expert for that. And also just before these two guys partnered up, I was professional world champion as well in Latin America.
Wow.
So and then I thought I better retire, give the young people a chance.
Right. You gave them their
And
opportunity.
then Donny Burns
Thank you.
came back.
So
But
it's
anyway,
Oh, Donny.
oh, who's that?
You have to leave that in. Donny who?
Well, however, yeah, don't edit
So
that.
anyway, so we had
Yeah.
success.
You had
Yes,
some great
yes,
success,
yes, very
absolutely. So watching the Latin couples tonight,
Yes.
I find it, everything is a trend. Music is trending. I know in the international Latin they've changed some of the tempos.
Yes.
Sort of a new thing.
It's slower, yeah.
Slower in the rumba, slower in the paso.
All dances are
They
slower.
all went slower.
All
So
went
what do you
slower.
think of that? What do you think of that tempo change? Do you like it as a judge, as a coach?
I don't like it.
And why did they do that?
I don't. They said because they want to have possibility that people could use their bodies more,
Okay.
and make it easier like this. But I don't know. I just think it personally, I'm not a fan of it because
Yeah.
I think it just encourages more of the trend, which is at the moment choreographically and over choreographed and making everything syncopated and adding more steps
There's so
rather
much
than rhythm
speed.
in the body. So
That's
I
all
think
I
that
see.
it just encourages that. Doesn't mean it's maybe not a good thing forever or not. I don't know. But
Right.
at this moment in time, I just don't think it's the right time now to have this. So
But when
But
is
it's
the
my
right
feeling.
time? Because I have to disagree. I quite like
Yeah.
it actually.
You like it?
because I think that if it, of course, is used in the right way, yes, if it would enhance
Sure.
people to really learn more to use their body and give them a better opportunity to put these kind of body elements in. Booking lessons on Facebook nowadays. So, in my times, I had to write letters to my teachers in England. And until that arrived was
Right.
2 weeks, and then until they
You
arrived.
used to use pigeon, didn't you?
So
Did you
I got
carry
an
it?
answer exactly
Right.
So in that time, until I got an answer, was 6 weeks gone. And in this 6 weeks, you have to do things. You have
Right.
to do. And I think that's why you actually, or we were all forced to do something with ourselves and find our way. And that is what
Yeah.
maybe now changes. Everything is available on YouTube, and
Instant.
instantly they can watch day and night.
Or maybe coaches
And it-
need to start thinking a little bit more about really creating that label for that couple.
Yeah.
To me, it's just sort of cookie cutter. They're working with so many people, and it's
I think
just,
the teachers try because they actually come out of our period of time.
Yeah.
So they come actually from that time. But maybe it's the couples itself. They just, okay, I'll do that because that's winning in the moment. And then they stop thinking and dealing with
Yeah.
themselves enough. But is it right or wrong? Time is getting faster. I mean, the world is moving on.
That's
so-
right.
But,
Absolutely.
maybe that's a point. Maybe not. I'm not sure.
So watching the American style professional events, do you have a favorite? Smooth rhythm?
Well, to me, the music and the rhythm is much better. Personally, I prefer Latin rhythms to start with, so I like that, and I like all the rhythmical music and all the rhythmical moves, so I prefer that. But I do think that whole Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers thing I really like. I think I think the smooth is very attractive. I think it's a really nice style. So I could. We were just talking actually today, watching in the day the smooth, and I said, well, I could actually imagine myself doing that style because that sort of has a nice feeling to it and
You
flow
would put
to
the
it.
Carmen touch on.
We could hook you
Always,
up.
dear. Can I have a pro, please?
Absolutely. Pro.
Yeah, no, I think it's beautiful. I think
It is
it's
a beautiful
really
style.
something,
That's right now our strongest style, I
Yeah.
think, going into
Everybody says that,
our
yeah.
U.S. championships. I mean, it could easily be a 9-couple final.
Right.
It's just
Wow.
that, it's that strong. The Pro Smooth here in Nevada is going to be tomorrow night.
Oh, yes, yes,
So
yes,
we'll have a
yes.
chance to see 4 or 5 of those
Exactly.
Nice,
real
looking forward to
That's
top,
good, yeah.
top couples
Yeah,
coming.
We're
no, it's a
looking
beautiful
forward.
style. It really is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
we're very proud of it. So, and,
We wouldn't like to judge it, but we want to watch it.
We can't judge it, but yes.
No, of course not here. But
well, what do you feel about that? I mean, doing Blackpool, and if they're going to offer that, should
We don't know what they,
hire
who
some
they're
American
gonna.
style judges? Should they?
I have no idea. That's up to the organizers.
organizers, just
they
like-
are
yeah.
organizing that themselves, so I have no
Right.
idea how they're gonna compilate that judging panel. I'm sure there is a.
Right.
Everybody is fearful of that, but they will have to figure it out. And again, I don't know. In the end, I think people always have a choice.
Right.
You know, it's like it's always difficult to criticize something because, like, if you're an organizer, like we are here,
Right.
you invite the judges you like to invite.
Sure.
So now, of course, you always try to get a balance and all of that.
I was invited.
we do like him.
For the record,
Really, he has a standing.
they haven't found anybody yet to replace me.
No.
Okay, that other guy, De Palma, whatever, I can't remember his first name.
Who's that?
Yeah, some guy.
No, but I saw it's always difficult because a lot
Sorry,
of people
John.
always say, well, you shouldn't have done this and you shouldn't have done this. But it's always difficult. As an organizer, you're trying your best.
Right.
You know, and you're trying to make the best level of everything. And in the end, I think, personally, my view was always, you don't enter a competition, you can't win it. Now, most of the comps were not always in my favor, I understand that, but in the
Right.
end, we won it anyhow. So in the end, I think you gotta make a decision for yourself. You go, you try. There is a chance you lose, but that's competing in the
You
end
got to
of the
be in
day.
it to win it.
That's
Correct. So-
wrong. If you put the number on, you have to take
Yeah.
the consequences.
Absolutely. And remember what you're really there for, right?
Yes.
That's also a little bit
Right.
nowadays, which I think I remember the first time I danced the amateurs with my Italian partner. I didn't make the semi-final, and everybody said, "Oh my God, you should have been the final." But the next comp, I made the final, so I went out of the 24 directly into the final. These things don't happen so much nowadays anymore, you
No,
know.
they don't.
Yes, and suddenly you know the champion would be beaten. You know, and it's
Right.
like it's so set a little bit, and I think that. And it was exciting. I remember. I was like, "How did that happen?" You were 96 or was it 48? Were you?
1948?
Now, how did you get into
Are you talking
the?
about my age? Or what?
No.
No, true. It happened actually to me too. I
Yes.
went from the 96 and I was already happy to be in the 48. And so I went 24.
All of a sudden.
12.
So you weren't even expecting
I
it.
went straight to the
Boom.
final. No,
From the
it was
96 in the final.
Yeah.
That is impossible nowadays.
It was great judges. So.
That was the best judging panel ever. Yeah. I'm sure you felt that
God
way.
bless them. They're not
God
here
bless
anymore.
them.
Anyway.
All right, well, dance tips.
Yeah.
So, talking about just real quickly, when you're thinking of giving people advice, students, teachers, professionals, when it comes to costuming, what are some of the things that you thought of when you were creating costumes for yourselves and for your couples? Do you have some general tips to
I have
give?
nothing to say to that.
You are a smart
I
man.
had, you can buy taste if you don't have. So
No, that's so true,
Yes,
though, right?
true.
You can. I mean, that's
think
part of it.
sometimes-
Some of it is having a
look at
little
it, we have
blind
so
faith.
great vendors in our
Or
own
someone honest
competition.
to tell you.
Someone honest.
I have to be honest. Yes.
What you think looks good on you may not necessarily look good at you on the dance floor.
But these two were different, so they can give you an answer.
Yeah. Well, look at these shoes. I mean,
Well, look at
Hello,
these
hello,
shoes,
hello.
those are
right?
like dangerous. You do not
Yeah.
want to step on
the
those
ankles.
shoes with a bare foot.
That thing, yeah.
That's the idea. The couples away.
That's the idea. See, he gives them a kick. That's coaching.
Our teacher always said to us that after a competition, we should be able to go and have dinner with the Queen.
That's right.
And not look out of place. So for me, this was always a standard, let's say like this. Today, I have to say I was a little bit shocked at how much makeup the boys wore. some of them had more makeup than the girls. I was like, oh my goodness. And I was in the smooth, and I was like, it's not really necessary for me. So, like I say, my teacher always said we should be able to go to a dinner with the Queen and still look presentable. And so I think this generally sets the standard for all your clothing tastes. Let's say like this. I think also nowadays, in our day, this sounds like we're so old, but it's true.
Yeah.
Well, nowadays, for instance, teachers wouldn't allow the girls to wear short dresses if the leg action wasn't good enough or the foot action wasn't good enough. They weren't allowed to wear stone shoes if the footwork wasn't neat enough.
Yeah, why would you show those off?
Yeah, and now it seems like everything goes, and I'm always like, why would you do that? And
there's a lot of frosting out there.
Yeah, you should try and highlight your best parts and camouflage the worst parts, type thing.
Yeah,
and I think people should think more of that along that line rather than just following trends. Or
so, what are Carmen's best and worst parts?
I think they're all on display already.
Do you have enough time? Do you have enough time?
I see all good.
But I think in our partnership, Carmen was the one who was more attached to the
visual.
Yes,
visual. Yeah,
she was more attached to this. So for me, this was more important that in our costuming, she designed what she wanted to wear, and I just accompanied it somehow.
Right.
And I don't really like matching things. So for me, it wasn't like we should, she has a pink dress after a pink shirt. I don't like this kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
But for sure, it was much more important for her, the whole styling thing. And
Yeah, it was.
Tips in just in practice in general, some things that you always tried to focus on when you were competing or when you were practicing. It's always a question couples ask.
Of course.
We don't.
I think you have to have priorities to start with, and I think you have to have you have to have passion for something you do. And I think this is something I know we are very strong. If we talk about each other now, we are very strong in personality and very headstrong in what we like, and we would fight for it because we are both passionate about it. But it's not we fight I win or you win, but to make the best result at the end, dance-wise.
Right.
And so it's inspiring that people are passionate about what they do and they believe in what they do, and you have a direction and you have your teachers to help you find this and to unlock new doors you go through, and dancing is very personal, and dancing is.
They're also not afraid also to try something out of overall, to maybe get a personality
out of
that
their
is
comfort
different,
zone.
Right.
Yes. Create that.
You really
create that label.
And let's say we all were lucky we were all growing up with great teachers that gave us this opportunity, but also kept us very strong to real fundamentals.
Yeah.
And I don't feel little younger people are I know the rumba. I know the rumba. I mean, it took me a long time, and unfortunately that's the difficult part with dancing. Of course it sounds easier, but if it is in the body, that takes a while. And I understand young people want it by tomorrow.
They want it yesterday.
And,
it's just
this
our
is not
world
possible
right
in
now.
dancing. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's not.
That's
But I say I don't want to be sounding old-fashioned, but the fundamentals have to be there, and we are definitely all strong believers in that.
Did you have a regiment? Like, did you like to practice in the morning? We did our thing in the morning, 2 hours, did our day, or did you evening? Did you have some kind of a routine that you like to keep to when you were?
Well, definitely, especially before getting ready for the big comps, for me that was always nice to have 2 sessions in the morning, more technical and more trying to fix technical stuff, and in the evening try how far is your body now. You have to accept, because that's what competing is then about.
Right.
You have to sometimes also accept maybe you know it but you can't do it, so you have to deal with that situation. So I wanted to have 2 sessions, yes, but I didn't do that all year round.
Right.
But definitely, especially before big comps, I did that for 4 weeks. And I like that. But everybody's different. You have to find out.
You got to find out what works for you.
For us, it always worked that we always practice more in the evenings. And we always used to go to open practices, like the assembly, the old assembly dance studio, where there would be this couple, Greg and Lydia. She passed away a few years back, and they would be there, and they would put the music on. So there would start with a room.
So everybody would.
Yes,
it's an open practice. There could be, before the big comps, there would maybe be 5 or 6 heats, which wasn't great because you can't get enough practice. But in the downtimes, usually 1 heat or 2 heats max. So and they would be there for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and they would put music on. So you would move on. So we would practice every day 5 dances, And that was great. I think that was for me the best, because I think I can get stuck in one step for like 3 hours, so you wouldn't get enough done.
Right.
If you like.
Analysis is paralysis, right?
And at that time, it was of course good in assembly. There was all the top people dancing and practicing at the same time. So
That
of course you
helps.
give your best. You don't want to look bad next to your opponent. So, I mean, that whole mental stuff pushed you to another level.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think that's the other thing too, is learning not to play in somebody else's ballpark.
Yeah.
You know, back to again being original.
Yes,
And if you're up against a lady who can, you know, kick to the ceiling and you can't, why would you show a
or
kick?
not choose to, you know? I can, but I didn't choose to be honest with you. That's true, because sometimes we do when we have camps, I do the stretch classes, me old, but I sometimes can get higher, my legs higher than, and they always say, why did you never do this? I don't really want to do this, but doesn't mean I can't do it.
Right.
Do you understand?
Right.
So it's also a choice. It's not only, of course I do what I want to do best or can do best.
She keeps it for the smooth when she comes back.
When I come back for the smooth range, also we always practice basic routines. We would always do at least 2 basic jives before we would go into our choreography and start working on little things or timings or this or this action. So there was this just back to the drawing board on a daily basis, and I think if you don't do it, you won't improve the things you gotta improve.
That's
so
true.
the cosmetic things can improve fast, of course, and you can camouflage things.
Right.
But the groundwork just takes time, and you can't speed that up.
This is such great information for all of our dancers. The final thing,
You're good.
This is you're amazing, all 3 of you.
She's good.
She's great. Final thing, like when you retired, was it like a sense of relief? Like, I don't have to worry about the paranoia of, you know, what judge to impress, and I don't have to get up and put all those costumes on, or was it more of a...
Well, as I
do you
retired
miss
before
it?
these guys, I mean, it's always a personal thing, you know. Some people, of course, you feel the point when you're at the point, oh, maybe I can't push any harder anymore. You know, it's more about the whole. I danced overall. How many? I started when I was 11. I finished. Whatever. Let's not talk about. But it was more than 30 years basically.
Oh
So
my
of course,
gosh.
after 30 years, maybe you feel, oh, I don't want to push myself anymore that hard.
Right.
In order to stay on the top where you want to stay. So there comes a moment, and then at that time, my partner wanted children. So there is, of course, you know, a time limit as well. So sometimes a normal life decision comes.
That's
and
true.
of course, in that sense, and we were lucky enough to finish with our world championship title. And we felt great because we finished on the top. So for us, it was a perfect moment, and we never regretted it. Yes, we still did some shows, but the competing was fine. So I felt great, and I didn't have any problem to transmit into the other side.
Right.
You know? But I'm sure I've seen people have problem with that. You know.
Sure.
But, in that case, I was different.
Yeah.
How was it for you, Carmen?
Well,
How was it for you?
For me,
Was it
well,
good for
Bryan
you?
actually, it was good for me. Thank you.
What are you
Well,
talking
Bryan
about?
actually wanted to retire 2 years earlier than we did, and we talked about this, and we were with our teacher, of course, and we discussed that. And
Who was your teacher at the time? Your name?
our main teacher was Peter Maxwell.
Okay,
Yeah,
Peter
that's
Maxwell.
where
Sure, that's a well-known name.
Yeah. And we discussed it, and I wasn't ready. I said to Bryan, if I retire now, you are the only one I ever want to dance with, but I don't know if I'm in the right place. No, that's true.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm in the right place, and I don't know if, you know, you're not ready yet. So he said, okay, so when do you think you're going to be ready? I said, I have no idea. So we sort of made a plan. We said, this is the perfect time to cut it off. This is I can give you this time for you to be ready. And I remember that when it got too close to that, and we decided that would be the day we retire. It was Blackpool 2007. I was so ready, and I was so ready to want to retire, because it was not that I didn't. My ego was big enough. I still feel today, if I practice hard enough.
Is her ego big enough?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
She still thinks she can get out?
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
those,
With a bit
yeah.
of practice, I can know.
Well,
but
Probably.
the wheelchair, no.
Yeah, get that
But it was just a moment where I realized, you know, I don't want to be so hard on myself anymore. I knew what we have to do to stay where we are and to improve, and it was just getting to the point where I didn't have the power
you
anymore
just
to
sort
do
of
it.
know.
You know?
when it's time.
Yeah.
And there's other people coming up.
And I must
a
tell
new
you, I was
generation.
very grateful for Bryan to do this for me, because when we both retired, and I know you were early already, but when I retired, when we retired, I was ready and I was
Yeah.
really at peace. Now the love and passion for dancing has not retired.
Yeah.
So I don't have
I don't
an
think in all
urge.
three of you, that's
Yeah,
retired.
yeah.
I
The
don't.
urge to
That's a
dance
wonderful
myself
thing.
hasn't.
Yep.
It's finished, but the love for dancing
Yeah.
is still there. So.
And the final thing, I know you're very busy. I'm sure you coach a lot in Europe and
Yeah.
all
England,
around the world.
Germany, all around the world. Do you do some coaching here in the U.S.?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Do you mainly stay in a certain area, like New York, California?
New York and Los
get
Angeles
around?
mainly, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But,
I've
well,
been
we
in
would
the
love to
past,
see
yeah.
you have more
Yeah,
events, and
yes.
it certainly is great for us to be able to take this time. And
Yes. Well, thank you.
we're going to get you on the
Yes.
ballroom edition of Naked and Afraid. That's going to be our
Oh my
next
God,
one.
what is
okay?
that? Naked and afraid. I'm not sure
afraid
that.
to be naked.
I'm not sure you want to see that. No, he wants to do it. I'm not sure you want to see
Voluntary.
naked
There we
and
go.
afraid.
Naked and Afraid
Let's
ballroom
practice.
edition
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
coming to you.
Whoa.
Well, bam.
And he's ready.
Okay.
I saw. Okay, never mind. No naked and afraid.
It's not late enough
That
to talk
was-
about
But
that.
this was great though to spend a
Yeah.
little bit of time here in your
Great,
hotel,
yeah.
the M Resort, and it's a
Yeah.
beautiful hotel. It's not right on the strip.
No?
It's sort of nice because it's a little ways away, and it's a beautiful resort hotel with super organizers, and we definitely would encourage anyone to come on and support you.
Yeah,
And
great.
thank
We
you
would
so
love
much.
everybody to come,
Yes.
just to get to meet Bryan Watson and
Yeah.
Carmen.
We'll throw you in there too.
Yeah.
Hans, you know.
Yeah, I will.
Humbly.
I'll sell you the tickets.
But it was great, and thank you so much for spending this time and letting our viewers get to know you a little bit more, and kicking
you.
off our first episode of what are we calling it?
Dancing in the dark.
Dancing in the dark.
Is that what it is?
Dancing
After dark.
Nice. I love it. Thank you, camera guy.
All right, thank you.
All right, guys.
Great.
Thank you
Thank you
so
very
much.
much.
I really
Thank you.
appreciate it. It was
Yeah,
great.
thank you
Thank
so
you, sweetheart.
much.
That was wonderful.
Wonderful.
Thanks,
Thank
Dan.
you.
All right, look
Thank
for that
you very
on
much.
NBC,
Oh, of course.
MSNBC, whatever it's called.
Okay.
No, but that was
Great
fun.
job.
We'll make sure we get back to you. Maybe we can get like some of that on the website for you.
Yeah, we must.
Oh, you guys made that